If you want to be overpowered and get the best armor sets early, you are in the right place. With more than 80 hours of in-game experience, I will be giving my top 5 early armor sets that you can't afford to miss so that you can break the game as early as possible. Like for example, the Taro's armor set that can give you general stat boosts and passives. Perfect for a well-rounded combat playstyle. Its first passive skill is the banger here, which increases the overall spirit gains by a moderate amount if a cooking bonus is active. You can literally cook every day with no hassle, so this passive can pretty much stay forever. So this ability alone can justify wearing this armor. Any passive skill that affects spirit accumulation in this game is top tier, since the faster you accumulate spirit charges, the more offensive and defensive techniques you can perform. On top of that, this armor increases your maximum health by a moderate amount, giving you more survivability. While the fire and cold damage on the other hand are pretty niche or situational, I only see the last two effects as a bonus. Another positive thing about this armor is that there is a high chance that this is going to be your first armor in the game. You can get it from Merchant Taro, one of your key merchants in this game, who also visits you randomly when you set up your camp. I got mine firsthand after setting up a camp, but if Taro fails to visit your camps, you can pretty much force your way of getting this armor by visiting the Deadman's Tree's location in Tokachi Range. Head to the location that I'm showing on the screen right now and talk to Taro. He will give you the armor, and not for long, raiders will start to enter the scene and ask for a fight. Clear them out easily to complete the interaction and keep the armor permanently. The Dragonfly armor is a beast of a set, especially if you are into medium and long bow setups. This armor will transform Atsu in a full-blooded bowmaster that can abuse the concentration feature and take out multiple targets in a flash. Its first fully upgraded passives makes every arrow damage hits like an absolute freight train, especially when using long bows, majorly increasing a fully drawn arrow's damage and range. When drawing your arrows, a bright glint appears, signaling that it is time to release your arrows so the increased damage and range can take in effect. It may take several practices to master empowered arrow shots, even makes it easier for you to do it. It is by regenerating your concentration time every time you successfully pull off an empowered shot. Why is this broken, I hear you asking, my dear viewer? Well, when you do concentrate, the time slows down big time, kinda like your Matrix bullet time sequences. But the key thing here is that bullet time also slows down the window time of empowered shots. You will clearly see the special glint for a longer period of time, meaning you can do multiple empowered shots like it's nothing. The third passive on the other hand makes this even more achievable because it greatly quickens your arrow reload time by a major amount. Get the Dragonfly armor by starting the side quest by heading to Tokachi Range, and I'm showing the location on the screen right now. You will meet the NPC Daijiro, and he will tell you that he has information about the armor's whereabouts. After the first interaction, meet him in the Hiranui Rest Inn, which is also pinned on your map. And then he will challenge you to play the Zeni Hajiki minigame, which you may find difficult in your first tries. But as always, I got you covered, and I have provided the best tips on how to beat this minigame over and over in my money making guide, because this minigame is your fastest method for farming coins. This farming guide will also help you get the fastest materials possible to upgrade your armor sets. The guide is linked in the description, or find it by clicking the card here. Once you beat Daijiro in a Zeni Hajiki minigame, a sudden turn of events occurs. He will be captured by Ronins, whom you will fight to progress. Daijiro's location will then be pinned on the map, and it is on the screen right now for your convenience. Head to the location to rescue Daijiro by clearing the enemy Ronins guarding the area, and by finding him at the center of the camp. More fights will be thrown at you, and this time, you need to protect him from Saito's men, which is not hard to do if you just focus on the enemies targeting Daijiro. Once all of the enemies are dead, he will ask you to meet him back in the Hiranui Rest Inn, so he can reward you with the shining Dragonfly armor. If you're getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine. The top 3 spot will be taken by the Badass Armor of the Undying. Not only this armor is one of the best looking armor sets in the game, but it also adds a lot of great passives for you to take advantage of. Its first major passives allow you to regenerate your health every time you stagger an enemy if the weapon type aligned. What does weapon aligned mean, I hear you asking, my dear viewer, once again? Weapon aligning requires you to stagger enemies with heavy attacks while using the right weapons. Like for example, the katana weapon type counters other katana users, the dual katana can overwhelm Yari users all day, while the Odachi kills and staggers brute type enemies in a pinch, and the Kusarigama can destroy shields in a few swings. So by just following this weapon type system, whenever you stagger an enemy, you will regenerate a major amount of health, which is of course very useful in long fights, especially for players who are still adjusting to the game's combat. The second passive of the Undying Armor also increases the window time of perfect parries and dodges by a moderate amount. Perfect parries and dodges in this game are already forgiving and so broken as hell, so any kind of passives that affect parry and dodge windows are top tiers. The third passive, on the other hand, gives you a moderate chance to inflict additional stagger damage on enemies when performing focus attacks. Focus attacks are being used a lot in this game, and you will be gaining a lot of value from this passive. If you look closely, the Undying Armor is somehow a combination of the top 1 and top 2 armor sets on this list, but getting it is a different story. You can get this armor after having access to Ishikari Plains and heading to the Storyteller's Rest. Talk to Ugetsu, the Storyteller NPC, to start the quest, and he will tell you the tale of the Undying Samurai. You'll be hunting 4 bells in total to summon the Undying Samurai in a duel to get the armor. Progress the quest by getting the first bell, located where Ugetsu is camping. The first bell is just hanging from a tree with a samurai's dead body. The second bell is located in Nakagoyo Spring, where you can get the bell hanging from a spear near a tree, and that's 2 out of 4 bells. The next bell is located on a cliff near the Stone Joe Coast. Use your grappling hook to notch the body down, and seriously, I feel bad for this guy. Follow the cliffs where the body fell and use the grappling hook to reach the lower area safely. And get the third bell, and it's time to hunt the fourth one. The fourth bell is located in Rumoy River between the Wolf's Den and the Bamboo Strikes in the location that I'm showing on the screen right now. Kill the samurai who got the bell and you will have all of the 4 bells to complete the quest. Head to the northwestern edge of Ishikari Plains and head to the location that I'm showing on the screen right now. Use your grappling hook to access the lower part of the area, use the ledges here and climb all the way down and enter the nearby cave. Navigate the straightforward cave with cool parkour and eventually you will reach the boss arena. Notice that there are 4 wooden poles here. Hang the 4 bells on each pole here to summon the Undying Samurai. The duel will start and the last thing to do is to defeat this guy and the armor will be yours. Things will get spicier from here, and the Spider Lily armor is no doubt one of the strongest armor sets in the game. This armor set is perfect for players who love to take on enemy groups or don't mind the pressure of fighting a lot of targets like myself. Personally, this is my overall use armor set even at the late game, especially when exploring new areas. What makes this armor broken is that it increases your stagger damage to enemies, so enemy stances will break like paper, especially if you use the right weapon type. In every enemy that you stagger, there's a moderate chance that a spirit shockwave will be released, and this shockwave will affect the surrounding enemies, filling each of the target's stagger meter. So when you get to the next target, it will be easier for you to break the target stance. Additionally, this armor set increases the drop chances of throwable weapons, and throwable weapons in this game are already broken because of their damage. And these weapons can also stagger enemies. Most of the time, if you do have a good RNG, you will notice a domino effect of staggering enemies. Then the shockwave will take effect, then more enemies will be staggered in the process. So this armor set allows you to shred groups of enemies like it's nothing. On top of that, you can stagger enemies with the use of your tools. And yes, it can also trigger the special shockwave. Like for example, using the kunai will allow you to hit multiple targets, so you have a great chance of triggering the shockwave. But the caveat is that it may take a while for you to get this armor. But to start the quest, head to the southeastern section of Tokachi Range. Once you arrive in the location, access the gate and Ugetsu will confront you and tell you another samurai tale. Head to the inner section of the estate and your goal here is to get 4 specific keys to progress in the area. Facing the pagoda, head to your left and follow the path past the nearby structure. You will find an entrance through a bamboo garden with a white flag. Once you are inside, There are multiple paths that you can take here. This whole garden is a puzzle and only one path will let you progress here. Follow the path with spider lily flowers on it, which are the red flowers just in case you don't know. Repeat this and follow the path 3 times to solve the puzzle and get the key from a bamboo strike. Not far from the bamboo garden's location, head to your left and follow the path that will eventually lead you to a wounded samurai and also a cave entrance. Enter the cave and navigate the straightforward path in here with a little bit of parkouring until you reach the cave section where the cave paintings are located. This is also where the cave key or the second key can be found. Get the key and access the nearby exit and head back to the section where we started. Facing the pagoda this time, head in its direction and follow the white path to your right. You are in the right direction if you see Saito's men who's engaged in grave digging as well. Take the soldiers out and progress by accessing the bamboo ladder, which will then lead you to the next and final group of soldiers. After taking out the soldiers, near the tall grave, get the engraved key placed on the wooden container next to a dead samurai. Now head back to where the pagoda is located and get the final key from a treasure chest placed on the pagoda's balcony. Head through the lock gate near the pagoda and use all of the keys you collected. This will lead you to the inner section of the abandoned estate. Access the wooden door on the right to reach the training ground. Follow the straightforward path leading to the boss arena. Access the boss arena and the Spider Lily General will appear and challenge you into a fight. Beat this guy to finally put him to rest and get the Spider Lily armor placed on his grave. If you find the previous armor broken, nothing can match the Bounty Master's armor's effectiveness, especially when up against bosses. This armor increases the perfect parry and perfect dodge window time by a major amount, allowing you to spam perfect parries like it's nothing. And not only that, this armor also increases perfect parry counters up to 3 strikes, so targets will be suffering from direct and uninterrupted damage. Adding icing on the cake, this set also increases your overall spirit gain by a massive amount, so you can perform frequent heals and spirit techniques. This armor is truly a powerhouse in all aspects, and I'm telling you, I have beaten all of the hardest bosses in this game with this armor. And as mentioned, parrying in this game is already forgiving, but this armor makes it even easier. Master parrying and use this armor with the charm of Futsunushi for even easier parries, so no one can touch you. Pair it with your father's charm and you will generate health from here and there. But the crazy thing is, you can get this armor very early in Yotei Grasslands, where you just need to find Soma, the original owner of this armor. Once you arrive at the location, Soma's bounty will commence. You'll be fighting other samurai that hunt Soma as well, so take them out first. Enter the cave and you will notice that there's a huge gate blocking your path. Access the lock gate and Atsu needs to mimic Soma's tune. So access your shamisen and play the song of Soma. The lock gate will then open up and you will be doing a series of parkours to reach Soma. Follow the straightforward path in here and you will eventually find him playing his flute. And then the two of you will start the duel, and after beating this guy, you will complete the bounty and he will ask you to play his song with you. After the scene, the bounty armor set will be yours. Abuse these broken armor sets and the game will be right at your mercy, especially if you master parries in general. But what if you are new to the game and want to have the perfect start possible? Here's my definitive step-by-step progression guide that you can follow and to be overpowered early. Click on this video and I will catch you on the next one.